Hey there, it's Nathalie. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here, or welcome back. So y'all know, if you've been here for a minute, you know that I do a whole lot of different stuff. One of the things that I love to do is go thrifting and get really cool old stuff. So back in the 70s, that's before some of you were even born, we painted on everything. That was the first time I did craft shows, was like 75. Anyway, and I'm not 75, but I'm getting close. Anyway, so I was at the junk store the other day, our Red Door thrift store, and I found this is dated 1979. You see it there. And it's this really cool, authentic, you can see where it's a cobbler's shoe. You can see where they've repaired the soles and stuff. There's little nail marks and stuff in there. I think that's what that's from. Anyway, a little metal plate. And these lovely strawberries that are painted on here. So I've already done a little bit of an experiment to see what would take this off, because in the 70s we didn't have acrylics like what we do now. We would have painted this with oil paint. So I've got a little bit of lacquer thinner. I didn't have any paint thinner, and I've already tried Goof Off or Goo Gone or whatever you call that adhesive remover. That doesn't work. So I'm just going to put some of this on and let it sit for a little bit and see what I can get off. Now I've already, like I said, I've already experimented over here, so I know a little bit of this, and I kind of scraped that, and but see, I'm already getting some of the paint off on my cotton swab. Almost called it a toothbrush. And I want to try it over here on the place where this was signed. And it's Kansas Collectibles. They probably sold these maybe at a craft show or maybe a market or something like that. And that doesn't have much rise in the paint surface, so it could be a totally, like, did we have Sharpies back then? I might have to use like alcohol or something like that to see if I can get that off. Anyway, I am going to put another coat on here, let this sit for a little bit, and then I'll come back and show you what we can come up with or how to do this. So, I mean, because we painted on everything, like crocks and tins, little tin buckets, mailboxes, coats, jackets, blue jeans. If it would hold still for a minute or didn't breathe for a second, we would paint on it, or I would paint on it. All right, let me pause the camera, see what we can do, and I'll be right back. All right, if I scrape this with my fingernail, I can see that there's a little bit, some of the paint's coming off, but there's almost like there's a wax residue on the surface of this little shoe form. I could probably use a little razor knife. I hate to do that, and it's probably not going to be really good on my fingernails. As you can see, it's beginning to, a little bit of it's coming off. And so once I have scraped down past that surface of that protective, whatever that is on there, just make sure you have plenty of ventilation whenever you're working with chemicals like this, and whether you have an allergy to them or not. I'm not allergic. I grew up with this stuff. My parents were artists, and so I just grew up around all kinds of lacquer thinner and I was going to tell you what else it was, but I'm too concentrating on this. Okay, I have this plastic palette knife that I got from the Dollar Tree. So it doesn't have a metal edge to really do a lot of damage. Now, this one, let me just, the solvent, the paint lacquer thinner is not really on there too good. I just did one coat a while ago and it's dried out. But let me do this. So get that kind of a little bit wet. to this green down here. Well, watching me scrape paint is almost as much fun as watching paint dry. So I will go ahead and pause the camera again, and I will be back in a little bit. Okay, lacquer thinner and plastic palette knives don't really work. I could feel this edge getting really gummy and kind of peeling off. So I switched over to a metal palette knife, still not using the X-Acto knife, but just this little blade edge, and moved from a cotton swab to a piece of paper towel. And I want to clean real gently on this, again trying not to scratch my wood. And so just using kind of a mix between a firm touch and a gentle touch. And let me show you what I discovered that was hidden under the strawberries. This is pretty cool. Let's see if you can see this. It says 10D. Evidently that's the size of the shoe. So I'm just laying this edge almost flat against the surface. And I don't know whether that's wax that's on there. Anyway, so this is an experiment. You know, you may want to be very careful if you have an antique that you're trying to restore or get rid of that oil paint that's on there. Just be careful, maybe not start like right smack on the top of the shoe like what I did. Yeah, that's got some sort of a protective coating that's on there that's peeling off. Maybe a poly coat, possibly. I don't know. And the name, I don't know that name is going to come off back there. I'll have to work some more on that. For the white, I got a toothbrush and just did circles, and that seemed to work pretty good. I know that I probably am going to get comments and clarifications that I did this all the wrong way and that I should not have done this, or I should have done something else. And I always, yeah, some of the comments are a little harsh, but some of them are really helpful. And so if there is definitely a better way to do this, I am open to that. I think that's looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and put some more of this, maybe to kind of smooth out whatever kind of finish that they had on there. So back with my little trusty palette knife, there is a sealer on top of it. So we'll see if whenever we get past that sealer, then if the alcohol will touch that. I know you're probably thinking, why don't you just grab some sandpaper, just go ahead and sand that all off. And I probably might, maybe, who knows. I got the sealer off, scraped it down, and went back to the lacquer thinner. And just like I did with the white, just little rotations. Okay, I think I've got this where I like it, and got that other stuff gone, and I think this is good. So I hope this helps. I hope you maybe give something like this a try. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Be sure you like, subscribe, share me with your friends, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.